Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Auntie Lara. As you already know, if you are a new subscriber, thank you for joining us. Thank you for finding me worthy to be my student. I love you and I'm glad that you have decided to join us. For this lesson, we are going to be considering character analysis of Francis in second class citizen. Of course, the theme. Please do not forget, I'm not going to dwell on this theme. And of course, character description of Francis. If you don't understand why you should start your first paragraph with him and why you should start your second paragraph with the character description, please watch my previous videos. Thank you. So we are going to start from the third paragraph, and these are his roles. So the first point, that is your first point and your third paragraph, he is uncaring, or you say Francis is uncaring. Now, under this uncaring, give us reasons or show us evidence from the novel how he is uncaring. Okay, so he cares less for the welfare of his family. He doesn't provide for them. He doesn't care about his sick wife. He beats her up at every slight provocation. All of this, of course, you are going to explain further. Please, there is no bullet points in literature. All of this should be in paragraph. So you're writing all of this, explaining it. I'm just giving you in bullet points. Don't say this is how Auntie Lara did as, so this is how I'm going to do. There is no bullet points in literature. You have to put it in paragraph. That's why I'm always talking about paragraph, third paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph. Don't put bullet points, please. Okay, so in your third paragraph, you're talking about you start with, oh, Francis is uncaring, and this is evidence how he cares less for the welfare of his family. He doesn't provide for his family. He doesn't this, he doesn't that. You understand? Then you show that another evidence is that he doesn't care about his sick wife. You talk about the time that his wife was sick and how that he feels that she really didn't want to go to work. She was looking for an excuse not to go to work and didn't care about her. You talk about how that he beats up Ada at every slight of provocation. You can mention some instances how he beats up Ada. Another point that your paragraph 4 is lazy. He refuses to earn a living, which leaves Ada in charge of all of his responsibilities. He always wakes up late. He fails his examination. Okay, all of this should be under this particular point is lazy. Okay, so you explain and you give us instances. And then another point is that he is wicked. He insisted that Ada should go remove the birth control, even though he knows that Ada is touch and go. You know that your wife is touch and go, and this person has given birth to 3 children already, but you insist that it is forbidden in Ibuza to use birth control, and so you ask us to go and remove the cup. Okay. And another evidence to show that he's wicked is that he burns his wife's manuscript. I'm sure that you all remember the bride price and how Ada was so proud of herself, and even her colleagues at work were proud of her. But of course, Francis sees it as being inferior and decides to, because he's even shocked that someone from Ibuza, he cannot even process it in his head that a female from Ibuza can make something good out of her life. And so all of other successes is really troubling him, and he's trying to bring her down. Okay, so you talk about that, then you talk about under him being wicked, you talk about how that he burnt the wedding certificate and the birth certificate of his kids. Like, that is the extreme. That is, why would you do that? But well, that's not for me to explain here, really. But you just talk about that, and all of this just point to the fact that he is wicked. Now, I'm not saying that because you know that for WAEC and GCE, you know that you have limited paper to work with. You have limited answer sheets to work with. As a matter of fact, I feel that they've reduced it again. And the reason why is because they don't want too much narration. Because a lot of people end up writing a lot and at the end of the day would not have anything to write. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Like, they don't follow the pattern. They just like write, and then at the end of the day, it's just mere narration, right? And some of them will even call it extra sheets. Okay, so they want you as brief, and that your brevity will still be as rich as possible. So if you're talking about Francis being wicked, you're already talking about, you don't necessarily have to put all of these evidences. So you just explain like 2 evidences and then you move to the next point. That he has a low self-esteem. Of course, he always consults his parents to make decisions for him. Remember how that he had to ask his parents when Ada got a job, a first job as a librarian, he had to ask her, is it normal? Is it done that the wife will be working? Is it normal? And then the father, Francis' father, had to advise him that, let her go and work and bring all the money now. You enjoy soft life, soft boy life. You understand, okay? So that's it. He doesn't feel that it is right for his wife to be working, and he always sees himself as being inferior to the whites. Okay, and then he considered that others should also feel inferior too, and that's why he decided that, oh, okay, everybody is putting up their children, others should also put up their children. And there was a time that Ada was, just reminiscing on a particular restaurant and said, no, Francis will never bring her to the restaurant because Francis would not see that he is also capable of sitting, alongside these white people in a restaurant. Okay, and he advises Ada not to look for white collar job as they are second class citizens. So all of this points to the fact that he has a low self-esteem. And of course, the significance. Like I said, if you had to examine a particular character, if they say you should examine a character, the roles of a particular character, examine the roles of a particular character, you are to end with significance. So now I said it that the significance is this particular character. What message did the author, what message did the playwright, what message did they try to pass across using this character? That would lead you to what to write for your significance. And your significance should always come last. When you see questions like this, your significance should always come last. Okay? So now what does Francis represent? He represents an average patriarchal society who wants their wives to always be below them and to command submission by all means. In Ibuza, wives will not even talk. Wives will not say they want to get educated. It is the right of the male to be educated. It is only the males that should be at the top. It is only the males that should earn a living. The wife should be at home, cooking for their husband and taking care of their children. Francis is used to portray a typical or an average patriarchal society and their perception about how a female should behave, of course, not being equal to them. Okay, so this is Francis' significance. This is why Francis is used in this novel. So I hope you understand, right? So this brings us to the practice question on Francis. Discuss Francis as a failed husband. Discuss Francis as an irresponsible father. Comment on the role of Francis to the development of the plot. If you are asked, discuss Francis as a failed husband, of course, you're going to talk about everything he did and how that he did not even do it. Okay? He did everything and he ended up not doing anything. And you end on the note that he had to burn the children's birth certificate and his wedding certificate just so that he would not have any responsibility on his shoulder. And that's just the height of it. Okay, so talking about Francis being a failed husband, you're going to start from how that even on his wedding day, he didn't even remember to bring the ring and he wanted to use a wire, like that. You talk about how he doesn't love Ada. You talk about how he didn't approve of Ada's job. Talk about how he didn't take care of the children. You talk about how he didn't take care of Ada, how he beat her up, how he refused, how he didn't care about Ada's welfare, even though Ada, was getting pregnant, successively. He didn't care, and how that he cheated on Ada with Trudy. All of this just point to Francis being a failed husband, of course, and then you end with significance, right? So Francis as an irresponsible father, of course, this one is almost the same as the husband. You talk about the things that he did to his children, okay? How he beats up his wife in the presence of the children, how he cannot even take care of the children while Ada works, how he complains, how he cheats on Ada with the children's minder, that's Trudy, how he belittled Titi and took her self-confidence from her by asking her not to speak if she cannot speak in English, and that made Titi go quiet, okay? How he didn't care about Vicky's ear infection. Finally, you end on how he burnt all of his children's birth certificates. All of this points to him being an irresponsible father, really. And of course, the third one is comment on the role of Francis to the development of the plot. If you are faced with this kind of question, what you should think of is If this guy, Francis, is not in this novel, would it still have been able to successfully pass across the message? So you talk about this guy, if his role is not here, would I have been able to know all of these points? Now all of this is roles. If you should remove all of his roles away from the novel, would the novel make sense? Would the story make sense? That is what they're asking you. If by any chance you come across a question like this, comment on the role of Francis to development of the plot, okay? And of course, when you see this kind of question, you start with the major theme, okay? Of course, it has to do with Francis. So you talk about, it could be male chauvinism, it could be male chauvinism, it could be patriarchal society, it could be a failed husband, it could be an irresponsible father. You understand? Anything goes. And then, since Francis is already in the question, you are mandated in your second paragraph to talk about Francis. Describe Francis. Describe Francis. Don't talk about his roles. Describing him. Is he fat? Is he tall? If the author had given us the age, how old is he? Is he a father? How many children does he have? Is he married? Who is he married to? Is he a son? Who are his parents? Just these are the description, right? It's just like you are describing yourself now, right? My name is this. I'm the child of, so describe that character. That is what they're asking you to do. So don't just, it's not something far-fetched, but in as much as it is very, very little, it is very, very important. Else you are going to be throwing your 4 marks away. Okay, so then your third and the subsequent paragraph, you're going to be talking about how Francis contribute to the development of the plot. All right, Francis made Ada's dream of traveling to England come to pass. You know. In fact, as a matter of, I will not be talking about this in this tutorial anyways, but then you know that if you should look at it, if both of us should look at it with another eye, you know that in another sense, Ada was selfish, right? Because he used Francis as a means to an end. I know some people will come from my edges, but he used Francis as a means to an end. He made sure that he married Francis. Oh, she married Francis because she feels that, oh, okay, this one I can go to England. I can fulfill my dream of going to England through him, right? But that's not where we're going. That's not where we're going. So, so let's come back to class, okay? So Francis made Ada's dream of traveling to England come to pass. We all know, right? If it first appears in the plot at the time when Ada needed to run away from her family. And of course, Francis' character brings to limelight male egoism. Through Francis, we were able to see that male and ego, so they are 5 and 6, okay? And his lack of love towards Ada spurs her to become a better version of herself at all costs. And so he was the tool that the author, it was the tool that Buchi Emecheta was using to move the story forward. Because if Francis was not doing all of those things, there won't be anything to read again. His lack of love toward Ada spurs her to become a better version of herself at all costs. Is the antagonist and the foil to Ada. Of course, through Francis, Ada is able to prove that women don't end up in the kitchen after all. Yeah, okay. And those are Francis's contribution. Okay, those are the ways that he contributed to the development of the plot. Okay, and with this, we have come to the end of this lesson. Our next character was going to be Panobo, and then our last character is going to be on Mr. Babalola. Or would you like us to rather talk about another character instead of Panobo and Mr. Babalola? Let me know in the comment section. I'm going to be treating just 4 characters. We've treated Francis, we've treated Ada. Let me know the character that you would love us to treat next, and you might just consider that. So, till I come your way, next lesson, please revise. Go through my other videos and just relax and jot. Till I come your way next lesson. Stay safe. Bye.